So this is US dollar CAD analysis for Friday the 13th of October. What have we seen and what's actually happened on Thursday the 12th? Well, prices did sell off a bit from the 11th all the way down into dynamic support, this moving average here in black. Now, prices did hold and retraced all the way back up to the 124.86 level. 124.86 being the pivot from a couple of weeks ago. Yes, being a pivot from a couple of weeks ago, and we are currently in a bit of consolidation beneath that pivot. Now that pivot, when prices did come up to the 124.86, was further supported by the 50-period moving average, which further added to the confluence. So likely explains the retracements and the selling. Now prices have retraced all the way back down to the 20-period moving average, where it does appear that it has found support. Now we do appear to be heading into a consolidation beneath 24.86. Now with this consolidation, and if we constantly test 24.86 and move up to 25 to be test 125, would be likely our next move. It's a very small zone, being 14 points, and we see how prices develop from there. Now prices, if they do go up there slowly and consolidate again, we're likely to see a breakdown in prices, as it would appear that the buyers do not have enough momentum to overpower the sellers, and the buyers are somewhat cautious in buying the dollar against the yen, especially around significant levels. Now if we do see some price momentum come into the market and prices do break 124.86 and 125, we've also got dynamic resistance here at 125.10, the 200-period average. It will likely be a minor level, above which we'll be looking at 125.30. So there are quite a few areas where we will likely see some resistance. Beyond that, we would likely get a clear run all the way up to these previous highs up here near 126. But level I'll be looking at is 126.22. 126.22. If, however, we do break down from this 124.86 to the downside, where would I be looking? Well, currently we'll be looking back again at this dynamic resistance to see if it does hold. It is coming upwards, so prices are going to be squeezed. Now, if prices are squeezed and it is used as support, prices should break to the upside. If it's constantly retested, prices could just retrace upwards, retest, have a bit of consolidation, then break down. If prices do break down, we'll be looking at 124.26 as being the next area of possible support, beyond which 123.34 being the next weekly pivot. Possibly see some support at 123.50, but the next pivot is at 123.34. Beyond that, we're not likely to reach there this on Friday the 13th of October. We're likely to be looking at the levels next week, because 123.34 is pretty much, it's unlikely, very unlikely we'll get all the way down there on Friday the 13th of October. Even up at 126, we are very unlikely to get up there either. So those are levels I'll be looking at to see if prices do break down from 124.86 or if we continue to consolidate. So let's have a look. That should conclude the analysis for the execution time frame. So let's have a look at the higher time frames just to see where prices are and where they're likely to end up. And let's just see if this is correct. So on the monthly chart, we've seen prices come all the way down pretty close to 120, and they were brought back up. This was in September. So far, we have not managed to push through after having a pin bar. It was a bearish pin bar. Put it in on the monthly chart for September. The follow through has not continued. We have tried to continue the follow through to the upside, but we have been sold back down. So there are quite a few dollar sellers in the market at present, especially on the higher time frames where we do appear a bit more bearish. So let's have a look at the weekly time frame, see where we are, see if there is anything of interest. Okay, so on this weekly time frame we had 4 consecutive weeks of bullish price action, and we've come all the way up into this 200 period moving average, currently sitting up at 124.83. We did mention our pivot was at 124.86, so we're in and around at 124.86, 83, near 125. It does appear to be quite a bit of resistance there at the moment. So what could we see? We could see a further retracement down, back down to that 123 level I've mentioned before, back into the market for a retest of the 125. But if we do hold this 200 period moving average, as well as the level of 125, a breakdown in prices, we could possibly even see tests all the way down into the 121s, but that's a medium to long term targets. And yeah, those will be the medium to long term targets. So we have to see how price develop before we get all the way down there. Let's just have a look at the daily time frame. Let's just see where we are on the daily time frame. We do appear bullish. We did have this reversal here where prices did grind upwards in a pretty strong way. Now we are getting a bit of retracements at the moment, but we did put in a bullish day yesterday. So if we do hold where we are, I'm looking for the retests of the levels as mentioned on the hourly chart of 125 and see whether we do hold those levels before a test of over here of the 125.97. So before I move up to 126 essentially. So if we can continue the momentum from yesterday, we'll be looking for a move up to for the tests of 125 before a move to 126. If, however, the candle from yesterday was merely could be termed as a consolidation or a rest candle, and we do break down beneath the lows of yesterday, currently sitting at 124.32, I'll be definitely expecting prices to retrace even further. On this daily time frame, the 20 period moving average may not be respected, but it's something to look at as a possible target, and that currently sits at 124.20. But if we do break down beneath the low of yesterday at 32, 220 is just 12 pips, so we might not. It's not a very strong range. So we'll be looking for further momentum to the downside, down to that into the 123 region. So that should wrap up US dollar CAD analysis. Before I go, LCS, like, comment, subscribe. Thanks for watching.